For as long as we've been human, we've looked up at the sky and asked two really fundamental questions. Where are we and what time is it? The quest to answer them wasn't just about idle curiosity, it was about survival. It was about creating order, and really about finding our place in the cosmos.
Millennia ago, civilizations all over the world were mapping the heavens with just breathtaking detail. I mean, from these intricate zodiacs on Egyptian temple ceilings to massive stone calendars, our ancestors saw the sky not just as a pretty canopy, but as a clock and a compass.
But how did they do it? Before we had satellites and atomic clocks, how in the world did they get such incredible precision? Well, this was one of the most critical scientific challenges of the ancient world, and the solutions they engineered from just earth and stone, they're nothing short of genius.
Okay, let's dive right into this by focusing on one absolutely remarkable city in the heart of India, a city that, for centuries, was a crucial hub for understanding time and space, Ujjain.
So today, we think of Greenwich, England, as the world's zero-degree line, right? It's the starting point for all our maps and time zones. But long before that was made official in 1884, ancient Indian astronomers had their own starting line. And for foundational thinkers like Varahamihira, it ran directly through Ujjain.
Ancient texts, like the famous Surya Siddhanta, actually designated Ujjain as the subcontinent's scientific anchor. It was the fundamental reference point from which they made all other calculations of time and planetary positions. And this wasn't some random choice. It was the scientific center of their entire world.
Now, this ancient legacy got a monumental upgrade in the 18th century. A ruler named Maharaja Sawai Jai Singh II, who was this brilliant scholar and astronomer, built a state-of-the-art observatory right here. It was called the Vedashala, and its mission was to bring even greater precision to the science of the skies.
So get this. Jai Singh built 5 of these incredible observatories across India, and the one in Ujjain is this amazing living laboratory of ingenious stone instruments. These aren't just sculptures. Each one you see here was a precision tool designed for a super-specific astronomical purpose, from telling time with pinpoint accuracy to mapping the exact coordinates of the stars.
Okay, let's look at the crown jewel, the Samrat Yantra. You see that giant triangular wall? That's the Naman. Think of it as the huge, perfectly angled needle of this sundial. It points directly at the North Star, which means it's parallel to the Earth's axis. Its shadow falls on those curved marble wings, the quadrants. As the sun moves, the shadow sweeps across them at a constant speed, marking the local time with an accuracy down to just a few seconds. It's pure geometric poetry, achieving near-modern precision with just stone and math.
And this is what's so brilliant. The Vedashala was way more than just a giant clock. Instruments like the Digunch Yantra acted like a celestial compass, mapping the exact position of stars and planets. The Palba Yantra was a specialized tool for measuring shadows to figure out the sun's altitude. Together, they gave you all the raw data you needed to create the Panchang, the traditional Hindu almanac that guided pretty much everything, from farming to festivals.
But why Ujjain? What made this specific city so central to the whole concept of time? Well, the answer takes us from the scientific observatory to the spiritual heart of the city itself.
Ujjain is home to the Mahakaleshwar Temple, one of the most sacred sites in all of India. And here, the deity Shiva is worshipped in his form as Mahakal, the great, eternal ruler of time itself. For believers, time doesn't just pass in Ujjain, it actually originates from here.
So here's the crucial point. In Ujjain, tracking the sun and stars was never just some intellectual exercise. It was a sacred duty. The scientific push for accuracy at the observatory was deeply, deeply intertwined with the spiritual understanding of time that was embodied at the temple.
Now, this drive to map the cosmos wasn't just happening in India, of course. It was a universal human endeavor. So let's see how Ujjain's innovations stack up against other ancient astronomical sites from around the world.
What's really interesting here is just how different the approaches were. You've got Stonehenge, using these massive stones to track the sun's path. In China, the Taosi Observatory used simple earthen pillars to mark the changing seasons. And in Korea, Chumsingdaya was a stone tower used for astrology. The tools were all different, but the fundamental goal? It was the same, to bring cosmic order to their world.
Today, UNESCO's Astronomy and World Heritage Initiative recognizes these sites as having outstanding universal value. That means they aren't just national treasures, they're monuments to our entire species' relentless drive to look up and try to understand our universe.
So, what does this whole journey back to Ujjain teach us about our own, hyper-modern relationship with time?
Well, this brings us to a final, really crucial comparison. Our ancestors experienced time as something tangible. You could see it in the length of a shadow or the position of the moon. It was connected to nature. We, on the other hand, live by this totally abstract time, dictated by the relentless ticking of digital clocks on our screens, completely disconnected from the world outside.
But there's a growing movement to try and reconnect with this heritage. In Ujjain itself, they recently installed a Vedic clock, which is this fascinating attempt to blend ancient nature-based systems of timekeeping with modern life, reminding people of a totally different way to feel time's flow.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to ponder. In a world that is obsessed with efficiency, with measuring every single fraction of a second, what have we gained? And maybe more importantly, what wisdom might we have lost from those ancient cultures who learned to read the grand, majestic clock of the cosmos?